Hi friends. So little is known to modern space science, but from what we know and understand, there are truly amazing things. This is a list of 10 amazing facts about space. Fact 10. Saturn's density is so low that if you put it in a huge glass of water, it will float. Saturn's own density is 0.687 grams per cubic centimeter, and the density of water is 0.998 grams per cubic centimeter. At the equator, Saturn has a radius of 60,268 plus or minus 4 kilometers. This means that in order to be convinced of this, you need an unusually gigantic glass of water. Fact 9. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, rotates at a speed of 225 kilometers per second. In addition, the galaxy travels through space at a speed of 305 kilometers per second. This means that we travel at a total speed of 530 kilometers, 330 miles, per second. Thus, in 1 minute you are at a distance of about 19,000 kilometers from the place where you were. Not all scientists agree with the speed with which the Milky Way moves. Estimates range from 130 to 1,000 kilometers per second. It should be noted that according to the principle of Einstein's relativity, the speed of any object in space does not make sense. Fact 8. Every 12 months, the Moon moves about 3.8 centimeters from the Earth. This is due to tidal effects. Consequently, the Earth slows down in rotation, using about 0.002 seconds per day per century. Scientists do not know how the Moon was created, but the generally accepted theory suggests that a giant object the size of Mars crashed into the Earth, causing the Moon to splinter off. Fact 7. The energy of sunlight, currently visible, originated in the core of the Sun 30,000 years ago. It spent most of this time passing through the dense atoms that make up the Sun, and only 8 minutes to reach us as soon as it leaves the Sun. The temperature in the center of the Sun is 13.6 million Kelvin. All the energy obtained by fusion in the nucleus must pass through many successive layers to the solar photosphere before it passes into space in the form of daylight or kinetic energy of particles. Fact 6. Solar winds are charged particles that are ejected from the upper surface of the Sun due to the excessive temperature of the corona and the excessive kinetic force of the particles achieved by a procedure that is currently not entirely understood. In addition, did you know that 1 pinhead of solar energy is enough to kill a person at a distance of 160 kilometers? Fact 5. Many people think that Ursa Major is a constellation, but in fact it is Asterism. Asterism is a pattern of stars in the sky that is not one of the 88 official constellations. In addition, they consist of stars that are not physically connected with each other, and can be at a distance of gigantic distances. Asterism can consist of stars from one or more constellations. In the case of Ursa Major, it consists of the 7 brightest stars in the constellation Ursa Major. Fact 4. When Sir William Herschel determined Uranus in 1781, he used to be given the honor of naming it. He chose to name it to Georgium Sidus, George's star, after his new patron, King George III, Mad King George. This is what he said. In the fabulous ages of ancient times, the appellations of Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn have been given to the planets, as being the names of their principal heroes and divinities. In the present more philosophical era it would hardly be allowable to have recourse to the same method and call it Juno, Pallas, Apollo, or Minerva, for a title to our new heavenly body. The first consideration of any specific event, or high-quality incident, looks to be its chronology, if in any future age it ought to be asked, when this last found planet used to be discovered. It would be a very first-rate reply to say, in the reign of King George III. Uranus was once additionally the first planet to be observed with the use of a telescope. Fact 3. In 1986, Duncan Waldron observed an asteroid, 5 kilometers across, that is in an elliptic orbit round the Solar with a period of revolution virtually identical to that of Earth. For this reason the planetoid and Earth appear to be following each other. The periodic planetoid is named Cruithne, pronounced Crinwy, after an ancient group Scottish humans, also acknowledged as the Picts. Because of its uncommon relationship with Earth, it is now and again referred to as Earth's 2D moon. Cruithne is fainter than Pluto and would require at least a 12.5-inch reflecting telescope to strive to be seen. Since its discovery, at least 3 different comparable asteroids have been discovered. These types of objects are additionally observed in comparable relationships to other planets in our solar system. Fact 2. Antonio Stradivari is considered to be the greatest violin maker ever. He lived in Italy in the 17th and 18th centuries. Researchers have been not able to work out what it is about his violins that makes them so unimaginable, yet they do realize that the timbre used to make them is a significant contributing element. From the 1500s to 1800s, the Earth experienced a little ice age generally because of expanded volcanic movement and diminished sun-powered action. This is known as the Maunder minimum. Because of this cooling, the sorts of trees that Stradivari utilized for his violins were especially hard, because of moderate development. Hard timber is especially good when making violins. It is truly plausible that had Stradivari lived in an alternate age, his violins would not be prized as they are today. This picture above is made of 3 overlapping photos. It shows the rings in the spruce tree used to make the most famous Stradivarius violin, the Messiah. The main line of numbers gives the width of each ring in millimeters. 1 mm is about the thickness of a fingernail. The bottom row gives the years wherein each ring developed. Fact 1. This may sound extraordinary, yet it is valid. 2 bits of metal with no covering on them will shape into one piece in the vacuum of space. This doesn't occur on Earth in light of the fact that the atmosphere puts a layer of oxidized material between the surfaces. This may appear as though it would be a major issue on the space station, but as most tools used there have come from Earth, they are already coated with material. Truth be told, the main proof of this seen so far has been in tests intended to incite the response. This procedure is called cold welding.